What's up, everybody? It is your girl Minnie 2C, and you are tuned into RadioDR.co.za.
Yo, what up? It's your pilot shoes. Yo, deeply rooted. They've been on all socials. Catch the podcast on RadioDR.co.za or deeply rooted.co.za. This episode is very, very special. Right. Like, we got somebody that's like proper. You know, we got somebody that we've been talking about. Like, can we have some realness with Teabag? There's not much real stuff happening anyway. You know, shout out to Touch, shout out to Funky and previous episodes, but we have to upgrade. So, hey, yo, Cito, what up?
What it do, shoes? What it do?
I'm fresh as fuck. Teabag, what up?
What it do? Oh, good.
Teabag, you say lit. Like, shout out to T. Once you read Teabag, put it on the show, go to you standing.
I must imagine. That's some bullshit.
It's so full. Hey, yo, Mike, we got you also. Mike is the that like gets he's the next generation of all this.
Yeah, still love it. Still love it.
Hey, it's so full.
I'm being groomed live. Imagine.
What's good?
Hey, it's a specific piece now. So I don't know how to introduce B. He's a super star. Help me out a bit.
I've
seen him.
I'm lost for words, dog. I've been able to introduce half of the people that I associate with, but with you, you keep on surprising me every single the word beast. Like it's okay for you anymore. I think you've gone.
It's busy beast.
Legendary beast.
Hey,
business.
Oh, business.
I actually had to change my name from PZ.
Why?
It doesn't.
I know. Like I know. Beast when he was still wrong at school. As I feel I'm 7. About next to old Tisha.
What if you're in high school?
So when you say hard,
I'll take it.
So you say you come from humble beginnings. I don't know if that applies to Beast. You know?
So what beginnings does he come?
Because humble big. So beginnings, I think we feel about a school taxi, about oh gosh, about I don't know if you roll with the 7, if it's still humble beginnings.
You can call him a silver spoon.
Yeah.
Well,
if you
consider high school as
but I also think his rap career is exactly what humble beginnings are.
I went to North.
You went to Northwood. Now we're talking. Now it's
yeah, bro. How fancy? That's school of arts. What you mean, bro?
That's a piece. Angikumbul mina no to it. Angikumbul no to it. Because mina so pissed.
Yeah, we're rolling with that gang from the band was still in the. He looked like he looked like he's not going to be a DJ.
What about Msizi Sishi? Msizi.
Gamaz man,
Msizi.
Yeah. You went to Northwood as well. Msizi Sishi. What for the North?
I'm tripping. I'm sure I know him, but I can't. The name doesn't ring a bell.
You're the Asian guy.
If you don't know somebody, they're not relevant.
Oh wow!
I must imagine.
No, like in school, I was caught up in lawful activities. So
you don't strike me as the type.
If you have the option and describe you before anybody knows you're around, how would you do that? Like, give us some advice.
Damn. Yeah.
Just short, something short.
I don't know, Malusi Ndlovu, Durban-born rapper, turned all genre songwriter, the heaviest of the heavy, came from.
It's true.
Like he's a guy that came from. He's a guy that has quite a story to tell when it comes to his career. You know, from Winter Days to Sailors and Durban ICCs. It's been quite a.
Yeah.
And like the whole story is amazing, you know? Yeah.
Do you think your story is, if you have to put it from like 100%, do you think your story is about 20% being told right now? How much has been told to us? Like, how many percent from Sako Gatlega?
Sure, like a 3%.
Yes.
3%.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like you get
because from my career,
I've just given out the show reel. It's just the trailer, you know.
Literally, Sharma hits. True. It's Sharma hits. Movie, okay.
You know, funny enough, before you and I spoke, because like earlier on in the morning, just and just things. I was listening to like old hip hop back then and stuff, and I actually listened to your old hip and whatnot, and I realized actually you had hits, bro. Like you've been having hits.
Thank you.
How do you maintain that? We'll see. Into keep hits. Quite a tracks that looks like no, they'll surface for a couple of, and it hits is a problem, man. You know. So how do you do that, Chi? Just from out in Japan. Z-Sharp, I'm going to front with you. That's what is so fucked up.
I think too, there's something I've always been telling myself in the songwriting part of things. Wuti, don't rap for yourself, don't rap fans, but rap for the masses. So you'll definitely always find in my music tracks where I want to have fun with it, like with the word, the beat selection, but you'll also find about the equal amount of music for people in general. Yeah, well, so I could be amongst like and absorb everything, so I can translate it to a form where into Dana music kwakho kuthungibeke ngathi ngiswingile nawe or ngabhalela mina or you know.
Sure.
So
yes.
something I've always tried to maintain, because obviously I've been exposed a different part of the industry now, so it's easy to lose yourself. It's easy to lose your craft.
So part of making a hit is understanding what the people want.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, part of it. Part of making a hit is definitely understanding what will relate people to what people want, because sometimes people don't even know, like, this is exactly what I need. So it's just trying to be relatable and always just be in touch with your core audience. So Zuti,
how much of you
for the ground
how much of you do you think you've given your people? Because sometimes there's a distinguished a difference in the sense that I can let these much people know about me on a per level. How much do you think from the crowd situation you've let Abantu that do not know you from a bar of soap to know about you? How much do you think you give out there for the crowd? Like
it's quite a lot. It's quite a large percentage, you know, but tracks you'll find on my album Take a Minute, like Thanks to My Fam. It's a song that's a song that's come to my life than any other song because now I'm dropping family members, I'm name dropping incidents that only me and my immediate family aware of, you know. So I do bring people quite close, but in a way that will relate one way or another to their story. You know? It's like when you left, everybody was happy that you're leaving home, and some people were like, "No, but why?" But your stuff to do. But Miramagi is very specific in what's going down in my household at that point in time that you could also relate to. She hasn't done something similar happen.
Sorry to, but also you've now have adjusted from the piece that like that is you're now the piece that is album and is signed to a label. How is that like different? A piece that's not signed to a major, under effort. I mean, no matter what the deal is, whatnot, we're not going. But like, how the difference between that? Like, how do you personally?
Your only escape is the music, and the music, regardless of who owns the master or what the nitty-gritties are, that it represents you. So, important part to hold on to. Don't
I feel
be forced to change just because of paper, you know, and signatures. So yeah, it's like it's not all glorious being signed to anywhere, but in our society and in the type of industry we're in, sometimes you definitely need support structure.
Yeah. So how's it going from
being signed is like it's a job, bro. It validates it. It formalizes your music career, bro. That's the biggest thing that people don't understand about when you sign to a record label. It's not about what you feel. It's there in place for you to utilize as an opportunity where you want to be. But that's just processes that need to run and processes that are of what you think and feel on a specific day.
Yeah. Also, like in most cases, you're getting at people that have been down the path. Where now you're the creator of the music, you say, no, this is the single because it's you and whoever you've made into it. And then somebody that's going to be selling the music can be like, no, but I think I could sell better. And at the end of the day, it's a business because he's pumping in money into your brand and hoping for rents. So you have to meet somewhere. That's what artists don't understand, especially first-time signers. This is a business, this is an investment, and there's a return on investment exit from it. So everybody to agree with it, definitely sell this track. This is a good song, but this is more like more.
Yeah,
man.
Also, when I want to change, like double check, because from being signed, you have the idea that you are the employer. So people hear your word, but not being signed, kind of like the employee. So there's as much as the creativeness is still there, and or how do you then become Leo Mudoa's Gasu? So you know what? Now I'm signed to a big label with big expectancy, whatnot. How do I check right through different people that fit in to of things and whatnot. So how do you find that I'm creative and inside it, creativity? Let me bounce how I want to bounce, and you just feed onto that. How does that employee work out, or how is it?
Unfortunately, like I've been in the game for a minute, so most people I've worked with have always trusted my instincts and have always creative role. So even you never get to Wuti. No, Pista Squares Wuti. It's all time. Sure, fine. Like, do you have any plans? And then we'll discuss Wuti. So who do you think you want to work with? And it's so and so. They'd be like, okay, let's talk to him. I'd be like, no, talk to him. This needs to be in Joburg and record. So I've always been given that space. Jay. There's a company we'll be launching very soon called Wow. That's an online digital platform to sell music via a Wi-Fi solution in partnership with my father's company, which provides Wi-Fi solutions to res around KZN. That's just one of them. I've also been doing a couple of events. I don't know if you guys remember Wild Summer last year. Yesterday, the 28th of March, I was supposed to be hosted at Under the Moon, but because of the lockdown, I had to postpone. And also music related, the songs that are currently on the top 10 radio monitor that were written by me. So
thank you, Beast. Thank you, Beast.
Place of like closely with Universal music. Yeah, music for other artists.
That's a ghost to niggas.
Yeah, bruh. I feel like
can't answer that.
No, I can't answer that, but check the charts, my nigga.
Check the charts and listen to the lyrics.
Thank you.
No, on the real though, it's something I've always liked. There are 2 tracks in the top 10 that were written by me, but I cannot disclose which songs those are.
NT ain't done.
But saying the top 10 of
NT ain't done
at all. They don't have my voice on it at all.
That's why a record label wouldn't worry about Beast because he's delivering. But all of them always have problems with their record labels when their delivery is kind of sketchy or everything of theirs is always in the pipeline. You need to always be giving out shit, bro. You need to be giving product out. Make the record label comfortable with letting you do what you want to do because you have 2 out of the 10 written hits.
Yeah, but isn't it like Beast has been in this game though? Like he's been doing this. Like a new artist who just got signed with one song doesn't know that.
Yeah, that's another thing. I thought I wanted us to actually go there. We would see some things you can never be taught. Some things you'll only get to learn through experience. Ziningi zinto esasitshela zona coming into the game, like don't do this. You must always treat yourself like this, and you don't get it until you learn for yourself. It's oh shit, actually, this is where this is beneficial. Like something as simple as like maintain a clean image and don't just smoke your cigarettes in front of the whole audience. And when you come into the game, it's like, no, but I'm a bad boy. It's even in my lyrics. Like everybody knows I smoke and all that.
Yeah.
But you're not exposed now to conversations with bigger brands and people that are trying to monetize your whole operation. So you'll only get to learn that once you get there.
Showcase. So like just in general, like how have you been like coping now just since you're not gigging?
Royalty checks, nigga.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible, but obviously it is bad because there's the money, the cash flow.
Yeah.
So if there's no money coming in and it's only coming out, it's a problem regardless of how big your cushion is.
Balancing the books, dog.
So yeah, it's definitely something to worry about. Obviously, considering Nanuguti, we are just at the beginning stages of the pandemic, and we are possibly the continent that's going to be impacted the most. So there might be extensions of the lockdown, and also just after the lockdown, how long will it take to really bounce back and be like, okay, I know this is sharp. It's a very tricky situation for a lot of people.
Showcase. And how have you been basically dealing with it it's day 3 now. I can also see you on a day today. How's the weekend been, guys? In lockdown?
It's been dope. I mean, I've been writing. I've been writing some music, and also just the rest. About the rest, and just trying to keep healthy and eating healthier and being cleaner. Also refreshes your mind. Yeah, bro. So now I'm tapping into parts I thought no longer existed in my brain when it comes to creating music.
And Jack isn't master.
No, like for real, these things are when we find on a magazine or watch them on online or on TV, but these things actually really work. We see, like rest enough and do that and do this. But obviously we don't do that because you probably leave the club at 6. You have a flight at 9. You have an interview at 2 in another city.
Are you sleeping 7 hours a day, Beast?
I'm not, but I am now.
You are now because of the rest. You need to sleep 7 hours a day, otherwise you're gonna get dementia. Must so watch my reality checks out. So Shama, my memorial concert.
Beast, gisho 30% on Uzoshire. Utane keep it trackable number 1 first.
That's cool. Like it's
so Beast, stuff. Just to understand. Sorry, just to understand. Yeah. So now with the lockdown and everything going on and the whole stage, obviously you're an artist now. Before anything else, Sazo Beast or an artist. I'm speaking on behalf of SA in there. So you work. Luckily for you, you're working on an album. So ukubonakala outside vele bewinto also izozile, we miss it. So when is your album dropping? Is that delayed? Are you still gonna drop it the same way, same time, or how is that affected? Has it actually even affected anything besides my feature or in T-Bag's feature because it can't come to the studio?
It's affected a lot, bitch, because obviously for one, I'm a session. Like when the day the president announced a lockdown, I was already expecting it, and I had just postponed a trip to Johannesburg for me to record with Umakwa. And also the outstanding sessions were sessions with the likes of Ureki, the likes of Questa. So when we come back from the lockdown, you need to consider the progress on my end. You need to consider the readiness on their end. We'd say, are they ready to bounce back now and straight into studio? Because Questa was also very locked into his recordings. Because I remember the week before that, I was supposed to have a session in Omako, but he was locked in Questa in Pretoria, and I was already in Joburg. So there's a lot of things to consider. And Noguchi, how many artists are currently recording right now that have the desire to release straight after lockdown? I've never been a person I've never been a person that rushes into things. Like there's still the mix and master process, which now I expected time, because if it's not right, it's not ready.
Case by case.
So you can't say on a Thursday, Dako Flu finally pume. If we'll just drop whatever we have. No, if it's not ready on Wednesday night, it's not dropping on Thursday.
Yeah.
So
that's
hard to tell at this point.
That's hard for a lot of people in the entertainment creative industry right now, because a lot of things are dependent on a lot of other people. So everybody's in a lockdown of what's excess. Should I finish this poster? Am I gonna have to change the dates? Kanjani. So like
that's the thing.
It's a also bit
like
scary.
the distributor.
But Beast also when like a quester, like when you say quester, yo, finish the beats or finish the situation on Friday, and a quester doesn't on Friday, do you then go,
Yeah.
I cool next, or do you like, hey,
I don't.
because he brings a whole lot of crowd?
I don't until I feel like it's it's beyond my control. Like if needs me to sales on our shoes, Vuma when it's Friday's ash, and then Friday it's something came up. And then I ask you, it's okay, so when is the best time? And then show when, and then if it doesn't happen then again, then I'll probably be like, okay, let me move on. And then I'll ask you one more time, like, Fetsu, since that thing didn't happen, so like, do we just brush it off, maybe try it another time? Or because if Mina isolate you to be on the album, it's definitely for a certain reason. It's never about your name. Your name is always like a cherry on top. But if I'm working with you, uh, I'm trying to I'm trying to get a certain style from you that evokes the emotion that's attached to that song.
100%.
Just how you'll never hear Sky Wonder misfitted in my album. Like, no, but why is Sky here? It's always, every time I lock in with Sky, Sky does exactly what's expected of her.
And every time you feature her, she like murders.
That's who Sky Black, bro. Sky Black.
I've not known Sky for like forever, dog. Like from way from bare.
Wonder.
Sky has no misses. When she was still rapping, like she's one of my top 3 female rappers, and I said female, because that's how society puts it. But Sky Untwempu, you also know, like Sky Untwempu, she was like, and I asked her back then, yo, I miss you rapping. Why don't you rap no more? And she was like, I prefer singing. So I'm like, please rap. She's like, nah, I'm gonna sing. And she went to Idols and she did pretty well there. I was like, okay, we have both the skies then.
Yeah.
She only raps for these.
Like when everybody drops at the same time, trying to push the work at a certain level. You have these distributors and you have compilers, and you have all these media outlets. So if you go to Bazi or distribute music, you go to them and they're distributing like 15 artists. Like, how effective is it really going to be? Because as a compiler now, we're working for a certain station, and one person brings you 15 songs. You're not going to playlist all 15 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also going to gauge, it's okay, we have a so-and-so here, we have a so-and-so here. Okay, that makes radio sense. That makes... but I pissed manje. Hey, shy. Well, ngizomfaka but it's ngimphutisa kancane nje until Tira to wake up and be like, okay, mphethe ingoma yapista idlala. They'll be like, yeah, but we got Ladle, we got Tipsy, we got a single from you, we got Bulo, Tsunami. So I always try to...
So that's an interesting part of it. I never looked at it like that, yes.
I always try to avoid that congestion. Actually, that's the reason why I carried on working on the album to better it. I wanted to release it last year, but last year Tipsy dropped an album, Tira dropped an album, Nak was dropping an album.
Is there like a preference on who drops first, or are you considered, or is it a case of how does that work? Who decides, and how is it decided?
It's your work ethic. If your album is ready and you have a release date, a desired release date, is what check how strategic it is, and then you can drop. But that's the issue with me, Huti. I feel like if we are at a label and somebody drops, we should all be behind the drop.
Yeah.
To make it
100%.
As strong as possible. The push must be as strong as possible.
And that's why a label is necessary.
Yes. So for me, it doesn't make sense for all of us to drop. Because also you need to consider, Wuti, Umphathu is an artist,
Sure.
the biggest at the label. So the last thing I want to do is drop an album at the same time as him. Understand? Because
Sure.
I know for a fact, he's going to be focused, and it's not that he's neglecting you, but he's genuinely focused on pushing the hard work that he's been putting in for the last year.
And also,
and you can't blame him for that.
How are you pressured? Like, are you even pressured to actually feature people in the stable, like in your album? Would you then be like, okay, Beast, you're dropping an album, but nabo Tipsy, nabo Dladla, nabo Odanke, whoever's involved in the label, or it's just like, yo, you got free reign, just let us know what it is.
Fine, do you, bro? I even went as far as telling about Tips and about Dladla, guys, if you're gonna be on my album, I need to write like rap verses. But Tipsy has a Pantula side. A Pantula side to her, yeah, bro.
Sure.
So I said, just challenge yourself.
She got that. She got that. What an artist, actually.
Yeah, I think you can actually do it if you put your mind to it. Even if I have to walk you through it, but let's do it. It would be so dope to have a full hip hop album, Massive Battle featuring Tipsy. And it's like, I've been trying to tell him, he's like, I can't. It'll be dope to have Dladla just spit the 8 bars.
Yeah. Get Zulu for this serious.
Yeah.
But I'm just to Arma Shesha did
it. Bro. I've been writing rap verses. TKZ, the whole career.
Writing rap verses, bro.
They hid behind quite a part. It's like, it's hip hop. It was rap. That was rap.
Shoes.
And it's a cool place to be. It's just that it does get tricky because of the genre boundary. Like I'll find myself tapping into more than hip hop at certain stages, purely because Memphis studio just trying to be creative. Which is dog.
I remember you trying to balance the hip hop and hip hop. I think it was at the Nasty C concerts I bumped into you. I was like, yo, yeah, dog, I just saw you like killing it. I'm like, well, how's it going? He's like, yo, dog, I'm trying to push this hip hop. I think you're at a point where you had a love of hip hop, you're trying to get back into hip hop.
Yeah.
How's that? Yeah. How's the balancing of the two been? Because you're in a traditionally like house stable, and you're a hip hop act. You're like a sore thumb that sticks out.
I bet you must just like not possible. Obviously, they are like I gauge the audiences where I'll kick off the sets with hip hop. Would like be like verses that have a lot of punchline, the opens, just to test the waters. And if the response is not powerful at some point in the set, I'm gonna have to throw in a bumper to retort it. Those songs just means that audience will relate to those times. It's crazy because
still a rapper, dog. I just want to figure it out. Do we still call you a rapper, or you just like?
I was on rap. Another thing, like about that, you mustn't underestimate that you have those songs, bro. You mustn't underestimate the fact that you have those songs to go back to. Some just drown on stage and they don't have a bumper to go back to. They don't have something to jump on. They don't have.
They drown.
To jump on.
They drown and they go backstage, please.
You know what exactly. You know what conversation is? I always raise this thing. Which means I listen to a lot of Jigga, I listen to a lot of K-Dot. So I know for a fact Kendrick taps a whole lot into jazz, especially on How to Pimp a Butterfly, that album.
Yeah.
I know Jay-Z has a collab album with Linkin Park, a whole rock album, bro. But nobody has ever questioned if Jay-Z is still a rapper.
Sure.
Now, obviously, when it comes home, He dropped 3 Gqom songs and they're like, oh, mpana, asa rapi. We still manje, it's like, and it's sad that it has to be like that because, like, music, versatility.
Yeah, but that's like one of the things that I found with like house heads or hip hop heads. They're so stuck up their own.
What made you rap, dog? Oh, sorry.
It's so territorial, bro.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
So territorial.
Dog. So like,
I bet hip hop about territorial. As a Gqom, may hlangana nawe bathi drop freestyle Instagram verses. I didn't
want to upset you.
As a hip hop verses. So fuck all that, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Some of them are the biggest fans of hip hop artists and DJs.
Are we able to do that?
Let's see that.
Exactly. Hip hop is so territorial, dude. Yo.
So if you do hip hop genre, you can't do anything else, guys. According to hip hop fans.
And you can't do the hip hop in a way that not the hip hop that they want.
According to hip hop, you never ever tap out of hip hop. ever.
Abayazi about the R&B.
Like, wow, boy. I'll post a photo of myself and my son, and they'll be like, when I was I'm so I keep hip hop. That's what the hell? Not only is this not a platform, but who the fuck are you, dog?
Basically, as soon as you drop a song that South Africa reacts to, automatically South Africa adopts you. So what you say and what you post, that's a stigma, but it shouldn't be like that. Also, because we out say that just got a brilliant talent of telling stories through music. Yeah, but so how do you branch that situation to then say, I can go on without dropping anything. I don't owe you guys anything, but still buy my shit.
It's just one of those things. It's like you motivate and a handbrake. So the job comes with it. It's like saying it's just like 3 employees, but you smoke weed, and you spiritually believe in smoking weed. So you're opposed to the legal status of marijuana, but spiritually you believe in it. But
sure. Until if we again, shout out Sergeant Manman.
These people
that type of situation.
On couches. I've never thought about it. I never thought about that.
Yeah, no, like it's part of the if usemehlweni abantu okokuqala nje umuntu once invited to that space and you connect with them through your music. Of course, uzoba ne-entitlement masuphayiza. Because I can't put my son onto your music and your brand, and then when you go around beating women.
Yeah.
Problem now. You're of what we say we represent. So you need to handle with care.
So, Beast, just to wrap up the situation, just to understand. So your album is dropping. Yes. Is there any date set for it? Are you still waiting for everything to, set up and whatnot? Is it being dropped under Afro Entertainment? Is there any features that we can expect? Is there any features that will be a surprise to us? Is there anything out of the ordinary? Because obviously you've dropped projects before, that from the fact that, Rico and Young Indo, most of us are over here. But from a stranger's point of view, if as soon as I hear Go To Pieces drop, anything that I could expect from that angle.
Okay, yes, I'm working on an album. I don't have a release date. I never did because I believe release dates kill creativity. Also, the album might not drop under Afro. The album is currently being discussed.
What? Yo, you gotta explain that.
Yeah, the album might not be dropped under Afrotainment. We're currently discussing with another company that wants to export the Beast brand, basically. Because of how, because of the switch
after still
English
cool.
and
Just
yeah,
sure that
business is business.
Yeah, no, we're definitely cool. We've had the conversation. Also, the company approached Uti and this opportunity. They want to export the sound because of the versatility and the switch up game.
Thank you, versatility.
And Kira was kind enough to holler at me about it, and also just say like, "Hey man, great. I might never be able to match this opportunity, so I'd say go for it. I have your back. If all fails, you can always come back. But just me, I got you. If you need me, you got me." So that's the situation right now.
And I think that's why we respect Utera so much, because he's allowed, and with just from a public stance, we are aware of it. You know, there's one or two people that will be like, "Oh, I did it like this," but business wise and what is built, he's been able. That's why we support you for being part of that, or when you decided to be part of that. We were able to support in Young King. Just to on the rap steeds, is there anything, once I said it would say, are we receiving any features that we are like, whoa? Or is T-Bag jumping on? Is T-Bag done with giving you lighters instead of a beat? Or what's the
to jump on, bro? I'd love for T-Bag to jump on.
Yeah, T-Bag, we're putting you on the spot.
T-Bag has a pack, bro. One day, if you have a pack, maybe, or unless you want to wait the lockdown out and we lock in.
No, dog.
It's up to you.
We can pack it up, bro.
You can send a pack.
Dog.
Cool. So shall you package the doggy? So the new package of it new.
Basic Jerry Lepes on the skin. I'm even not gonna charge you for it.
I will. Do you have maybe an initial name? Have you thought about the name of the project?
No, actually, no. I have ideas, but
yeah,
I haven't. But all of the ideas speak to the. I always theme my albums like.
Have you found? I was about to say right now, in terms of like I was about to say that in terms of the naming of your projects right now, it's been pretty on point. Yeah, well, it's been pretty on point.
Yeah. No, well, the short list has got like three titles only. Like it can only be one of those three because it needs to the content within the album. Yeah, well, I don't just name an album.
It's so and what else?
Shoes.
Actually, what is? How do you feel about the whole? How do you feel about the whole thing with this kind of world and Loki being signed to this kind of world thing?
I'm very happy for Loki because it's definitely a better position than where he was. We all know how talented Loki is.
Sure.
Praying obviously that it's a good move because you can never know, and this has got nothing to do with kind of world. It's just got to do with signing deals in general. You know, sometimes things go south. Sometimes it's the artist. Sometimes it's the label. But I just hope it's a dope union that both parties can benefit from because, like, in all honesty, Loki truly deserves it. And also, Skanderworld has always been in the forefront amongst the companies that are in the forefront. So it would be dope for them to actually benefit from fresh new blood and just a breath of fresh air. So like, and man, all the best to Loki. I really love his verse on the joint they dropped as a collective. Nabo
Sure,
Zinga and Taylor and
that thing, like, that verse, like, it's like, you see how you when you rap in vernac, there's a certain people of KZN that you represent.
Yeah.
And it's in your lingo, and you could even move into Eastern Cape and stay 10 years there. But the way that you write your raps, especially Mukulu Mikeba, it relates to a specific set of people. Abahlala like hi. And Ulok has been able to tap into that from a different wave.
Yeah, and I love it. I love also just the attitude, Jay.
Sure.
Like how if he can maintain that, because he's got that young Fresh Prince of Bel-Air vibe thing.
Sure.
Like, he's energetic. He's and he's definitely, there's a big gap for him to come through and push as possible.
Yeah, bro. More Durban is winning. For me, that's the happiest thing, that a lot of Durban is winning, and a lot of Durban guys from I'll call it the emerging market, the emerging sector, are making moves that are like formalizing. No hate. Like formalizing, signing contracts. A lot of rappers are still afraid to get into deals and stuff like that, and signing these contracts.
But what I see
decisions and investing in themselves.
A lot of the artists that I've bumped into that don't want to get into deals, I feel uneducated about the business, as some, like an artist like Beast is, through like experience. And some people, like Nasty, was educated in the business, but that was through geeking out on the industry, and a lot of people don't take their work seriously enough for them to know this stuff, to or at least know what they don't know, because you can know and you can know that you don't know, and you still need to learn.
Okay, well,
That's true. Not Nasty now. Like the same message goes out to him. I just hope it's a fruitful deal for both parties, because it could swing either way. Like you could, like with deals, it's always that risk.
It's the wild west.
It's the wild west, bro. But it's a make or break, and if it's a make, I'm so proud of him.
Were you nervous?
He's still got so much time.
Were you nervous signing to Afro? Were you nervous when you're signing to Afro, because you're coming from a bigger label, right?
Not really.
Just go with the flow.
Yeah.
No, it's because it came at a point where I just needed to be. I had the fallout, the gents that I was working with prior. I had just come out of a sticky situation with my previous management. And at that point I already had Hello. So I'm telling myself, there's no way I'm dropping this song indie.
Sure.
You needed the power of the machine.
Exactly. Like I definitely needed, like even just the name, because I could do the push. I've been independent for quite some time, but with the name, it would be like 10 for.
Yo, Beast, cutting off there a bit.
Yes, sir.
Is it just me?
No, he cut off for a bit.
Yeah, I was saying, let's see, I don't want to drop it independent, because I knew that dropping it with Coop, it would reach the people that I want to reach, because I knew it's a song that will speak to the masses. And to come in on it like that was also like a big bonus. You're ending my to further heights where I couldn't reach, And it worked like a charm. It's actually the only song that won an award at Entertainment last year.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bongo.
No, shout out, man. Personally, on me, on my side, I can't wait for your album to drop, G. And I think it would be something that I want to listen to. It's Ngihleli Ngedwa. because or automatically I think your music speaks for people like myself, and people like us actually. Gobalula to hear it. About shout out to you. We can't wait for it rather, and I think it will touch the middle class guy that just got the monies, into that that's still trying to push up and you one of us as I said in the beginning, Yabo. So I wish you well. I wish everything is dope. Shout out for you to even take a bit of time to just be with us from the conversation. I hope it's been good, and we're gonna have you again while we figure zonke izinto out with Silo and T and Mike in the background. And it's just good to hear a perspective. So just to for the last because we've got about 5 minutes or less to go. So with the 21 lockdown and so forth, with the virus, actually is a real thing. So it affects everybody. What's your take on it in terms of like what are you doing to keep safe, and what are you hoping the end results become after 21 days as an artist and also as a time, because you've got a son and forth. So what's your take on it? Just to hear the last word for the next 5
minutes. It's really sad for me to see me ignorant, but because we live in a society where izinto eziningi zithathwa as a joke, but also flip coin. Like in that clip, and give us and says wire, and turned out to be it was represented as ignorance.
Yeah.
So just like nobody said to think Gucci, let time 100% from where he stands. Like umuntu ongakuthi mina ngikaze ngike ngisho eDurban angilwazi ulwandle ngamhlanje. I've never left SOM. Angazi ngisuke la. So le virus engitshela ngaya ko China ngihlangana nayo mina.
Yeah.
Because virus izumile sonke.
Yeah.
Even the government says this is our first try at doing what we're doing. This is not a rehearsal. So how do you expect people in the outer skirts of the CBD and people that are not as connected to social media, don't listen to as much radio? Like there are people that are like that just wake up, they're unemployed, bahlale phansi kwesihlahla, abuka abashana, abuka community ehlala enyuka, and does the odd work around the house. Like lo muntu generally doesn't know what's going on. So awukwazi ukumblame.
And I understand the thing that was challenging because then
akazigibeleli
and usevile ukuthi kune-virus uzwe ukuthi life ngebhanoyi, but he hasn't got the extra information that we see on like your WhatsApp stories, your Twitter, like all that information le kabusha ukuthi okay konje kuthiwa fanele ngidle to boost my immune system, fanele kube njani, all of that stuff. And society unfortunately isn't prepared, which is why the globe predicts that Africa will be hit the hardest, as much as Africa has the lowest infections and deaths right now. But
lack of
because maybe projects like this morning I saw an article that see Africa is the last on the list to receive life incubators because the countries that are dying the most are in Europe right now. So the people that are making these incubators are shipping to Europe. But the pandemic but numbers we only have 1,000 infections. Yeah, but how many people have you tested? You only tested 15,000 people.
America told General Motors to start making ventilators. There's a law that they can invoke, like they did with the Disaster Act, like South Africa. There's a Defense Act like Ghana where they can tell factories, like big companies, to make what they need. So they told General Motors to start making a ventilator because they see what is about champagne.
Good. Kuyimanje ungathi sikanjani ngestina 4 bengathiwa kunobaba ohlala phansi lesigodini sasokhele exhobo athi ne-dry cough ngiphethwe ikhanda ngine-fever ne-diarrhea.
I don't know if there was a punchline noma should I
all right. I said to diarrhea. Those are all the major symptoms.
I don't know what rappers, dog. I don't know if rappers.
There's
a punchline or something. There's like beat, socks.
No, this has nothing to do with the fact that it's so at the airport.
I don't know, man. Because socks is my rise. Oh, okay. Alrighty then. Hey, yo, shout out to Socks, man. Once.
Yeah, but the reality is we're not prepared in a nutshell. Asiko prepared for the larger scale of things.
All right, dog. For me, from Shoes, the pilot, dog. I hope you're keeping safe. I hope your album goes well. I hope you and your fam, your kid, your brothers, your sister also, and all of that. I hope you give us the content that we're waiting for. And I hope those 21 days become a situation where you get perspective about your stuff and your shit, and you are who we rate as you are, even more, so to speak. So shout out for you for coming through to the podcast. And ladies and gents, or just gents for this period, I'm going to call it any last words for Beast, any last words from Beast. Please feel free, because I am now automatic counting your niggas down.
No, man, just major shout out for making it feel like it's not a lockdown for an hour, bro. Like, nigga been idle, even when I'm writing, like write, and then you sometimes zone out. So, like, just being part of something is dope, man. Shout out, thank you so much.
Shout out to you.
We appreciate that, Beast. And anytime you have a writer's block, dog, you can always holler at me, like how I did with the other tracks. I can always give you lyrics and stuff,
Nah, the only blocks around here are roadblocks by the South African fans, bro.
Issue. All right, T-Bag, you still with us?
T-Bag for toilet.
All right, T-Bag. Yeah. T-Bag has loop breaks.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut out. I'll see you guys.
With T-Bag. Okay. With T-Bag, I don't know permits. Yeah, my loop breaks now, but he takes them. Yeah, so I think sure.
Small again, please. Thank you for coming
shout out
through.
To you one time.
Okay,
Jeffrey, just make sure, is there anywhere we catch you on the social media situation? Is there anything that you can give us to follow you, or anything we should subscribe to?
It's just Insta, Twitter @Beast_RSA. That's @Beast_RSA. Facebook is Beast_RSA, and so is YouTube. So yeah, man. What's up?
If it's that, I almost like sounded as if Champagne, the other radio stations that I won't mention right now. So yeah, so tell us, what's your handle? Kanti asazi ukuthi uqosh le podcast.
Dalili ngathi.
Okay. T-Bag, I'm waiting, bro.
Hey, yo, shout out to Cito. Shout out for that. Shout out to Deeply Rooted Durban. Fitz, you can catch us on the podcast for those listening that are not part of this podcast immediately. RadioDR.co.za or deeplyrooted.co.za. Catch us on all socials. We got you. T-Bag, Shoes, Style. We outie. Thank you, Beast.
Sibhekike lona sibhekana inkap zonke siphelele lana and radio